Happy birthday, Doug B, who has taken over our chat with 50 gifted memberships and a 50 bomb. And nothing makes Ryan happier than seeing other people happy. And Ryan, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling fantastic, and that's true. You know me, Jeremy. I'm all about everyone else's happiness. That's really all I've ever cared about. So it's great seeing everybody in the chat. But really, happy birthday to Doug. What a way to spend your birthday, giving to other people. So.
Hell yeah, I'm okay with that. But seriously, appreciate you, Doug. I saw Doug and the chat was being really, really nice after Doug dropped this 50 bomb and 50 gifted memberships. It's my birthday, and to celebrate memberships, hail chat, hail G&G 1994547. Doug says, thanks everyone. Thanks chat, best chat in existence. That is right. So thank you, Doug. But yes, how's everybody doing today? It is Geeks and Gamers Daily. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Rumble, and we appreciate all of you being here today. We got a lot of things to talk about, mainly Disney sucking. And Disney has so many terrible stories out there. We couldn't even work in the Rachel Zegler going after Big Cat story.
Did you talk about that yesterday?
We talked about it a little bit because it kind of happened. I did talk about it a little more last night on Cobra Cast, though. It's so damn funny, especially because Big Cat, that thing has like 40 million views now. Like
he tweeted it out. It's not like someone clicked, like he tweeted it out.
No. I know. And you know he loves it. And like I said, Portnoy like retweeted it, like, yeah, drag his ass. You know, like it's just
he even used his burner account. And he just like shit all over Big Cat. It was pretty good. It'd be like, it's well known that Big Cat is somebody who hates Taylor Swift, but let's not get it twisted. At Barstool or whatever, at El Presidente is a massive Swiftie, so don't drag him into this stuff like that. No, I thought you talked about that yesterday, which is why I specifically didn't.
No,
but yeah, Rachel Zegler decided it's been a couple weeks since she's been involved in some controversy. She saw another woman who was under attack and decided to stand up for that woman in really a way to self-victimize herself. That's what it was all about how the treatment of women is so terrible. First of all, Taylor Swift doesn't need Rachel Zegler to stand up for her. Taylor Swift has more fucking fans than maybe anyone else in the world, right? Big Cat was already getting dragged. It's not like she needed Rachel Zegler to stand by her. But the whole tweet chain that she put out was stupid. She's like, we would never hear men talk about another man's sexual life this way. He was literally talking about a man in that clip. He was talking about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
The only reason he's talking about Taylor Swift's relationship is because she's involved with a professional athlete that he follows because they're a sports coverage website. How retarded can you be? Holy shit. Like how many times has Taylor Swift's love life been a topic of discussion in the internet sphere?
Well, plenty forever, of times, including by her.
Yes. And so now Big Cat's talking about her. Why? Because she's involved with a male professional athlete. God, these people are fucking weird, man. But it is funny.
Good. It's reasonable why there's NFL fans who are kind of sick of it. Like the first week, it was whatever. I didn't have a problem with it the first week. You see the memes, you see shots of her. Okay.
Now it's overkill.
Then when they leaned into it, then when they started changing their social media bios and headers to be Taylor Swift after a very controversial ending where it seemed like the Chiefs got a lot of help from the referees and the officials, and they're showing apparently a new report that's out there, I'll probably talk about later on Sports Wars. They pressured ESPN and NBC to share free Taylor Swift ads because they want this partnership to continue because they likely want Taylor Swift to perform at a Super Bowl halftime in the future. That's like what all this is about. And normal people who just want to watch sports are fucking fed up with it. It doesn't matter whether you're doing social justice propaganda or whether you're shoving something else that doesn't necessarily belong in your sport into it. People are there for one reason. They're there for sports. So they get kind of sick and tired of the Taylor Swift stuff.
You want to know how sick and tired I am of the Taylor Swift stuff? Bring back fucking the Black National Anthem at this point. Fucking hell. Like, get rid of Taylor. I mean, I am so sick of this shit. Bring back your Black Lives Matter bullshit. That's how much I'm sick and tired. The Kanye meme, like 1 week after Taylor, what I'm about to turn into, you know?
Yeah, he just like changes to Kanye. That's pretty good.
It's so bad. But all right, Ryan, I know you're not a big kind of conspiracy theory guy. You're a straight shooter on those things. Do you think that this is a made up kind of relationship for Kelsey to
I,
get more?
I don't think it's made up. I just
1
think
week before they became public, Mr. Pfizer and his Pfizer commercial. I'm just saying.
I think that, well, one, Travis Kelce was pushing the COVID jab back in 2021. So let's not pretend like this is something new. A lot of retarded people on the internet forget that, but it's true. He partnered with Walgreens to push the COVID vax in 2021. I just think that the NFL took the opportunity and they've ran with it, and they want to be connected to Taylor Swift because of her fan base, because of how massive it is. I think that it's just circumstance was there, and now they're pushing it hard. That's what I think.
That's fair. That's fair. Brian typically has a fair take like that. That's why I wanted to see. Roland New says, love how green the chat is today. You damn right. You damn right. Yeah, so I appreciate you guys being here. And this will not be a sports show. If you do want more sports, so you can go subscribe to Sports Wars, where Ryan does a great job over there. So, all right, we got a lot of super chats. Holy shit. Doug B says, hey, Ryan, it's my birthday month. Does that mean you're going to drop memberships every day of the month, Dougie?
Yeah, I better be careful, Doug. You're making a big commitment there.
All right, let's see. Taker 610 says, stop asking how do you say that? Huyang, and a bunch of crabs fixed the ship. Obviously, the crabs own and operate a large Starship parts depot and repair shop, obviously. So, Ryan, how bad was Ahsoka?
I think the finale was probably the worst episode of them all, for a couple reasons. I think a lot of just really dumb shit happened. A lot of things, there's been a lot in this series where it's like, well, maybe they'll answer that. Maybe you'll get some sort of explanation. Maybe. Kind of wait to the end of the season to see. And the end of the season came and went, and almost none of it was explained. And I think that Thrawn truly looks like an idiot. I think that might be the biggest sin of all. At least they're matching his character in Rebels. But it's certainly not Thrawn from the expanded universe, the Thrawn that everybody cares about, that everybody likes. You need a writer who's not Dave Filoni to actually tackle something like that. There were a lot of references to Rebels characters, and even I think you guys were doing the whole push when Sabine was pushing Ezra, and that's directly from Rebels. It looks goofy in live action.
It does.
But for people that haven't watched Rebels, you probably have no idea what that's supposed to be, and you probably just think it looks goofy.
My reason it looked goofy is because Sabine's doing it, and of course the live action element it does look goofy. You know what I mean? But it just live action does. It looked really bad in live action. And that's the thing. Like, there's just things that stand out big time. Like, I can watch Clone Wars and see a lot of crazy shit, and it makes a lot of sense in terms of just like crazy acrobatic stuff or whatever, because it's animated. You see that same thing being redone in live action, and it looks ultimate cringe. You know what I mean? It's like anything else. Like, I don't know, man. Like, okay,
the thing is,
I watched G.I. Joe cartoon growing up. Okay, now if I watch it, let's just take the good elements of the G.I. Joe movie, and fuck you before you start talking about Channing Tatum. But the good elements of like the Snake Eyes and the Storm Shadow stuff, and that's really good in the live action G.I. Joe movie. Not the Snake Eyes movie, to be clear, but G.I. Joe, the animated cartoon, has so much nonsense in it with the lasers going back and forth from the guns and just nobody gets shot. There's like gunfire all over the place, and literally nobody's getting hit by anything. If you redid that same stuff in live action, it would look retarded.
Yeah.
And that's where Dave Filoni clearly just doesn't understand this. Like, he's an animation guy that needs George Lucas to be overseeing him. Outside of that, he ain't the guy. That's just a fact.
And there's also just big disconnects in the storytelling throughout the entire episode. So say last episode, Ezra rejects his lightsaber. He's like, Force is my ally. That's all I need. Right. And then he does his little Force karate bullshit. He eventually picks up a blaster when they get overrun with stormtroopers. But the very beginning of the next episode, he's building another lightsaber because apparently that he needed a lightsaber. And there was some cool moments with Hu Yang because Hu Yang helped Kanan build his lightsaber, because Hu Yang's been around the Jedi Order for thousands of years and stuff like that. So you get a little mention and discussion of Kanan. I thought that was good, you know, and that you're not having to just show an exact same shot that was in Rebels that looks cringe as fuck. They're just talking a little bit about Kanan and, you know, why he's important to people. And Hu Yang finds a part in the lightsaber emitter that's very similar, like exactly the same as Kanan's. So Ezra's lightsaber has like a piece of Kanan in it almost. To be fair, this one ain't very special. It's like the third or fourth lightsaber Ezra's built at this point. But still, like a little moment like that, I think was fine. Of course, most people probably had no idea what that was. They don't know who Kanan is. Don't know why they should fucking care about him. But in between some of those okay moments, it's just Thrawn sends 2 TIE fighters after the Jedi shuttle when he has their location pinpointed. Not a squadron, not 6. He sends 2 TIE fighters. When they just had sent 3 fighters after them before that could do nothing, could not shoot them down, were just chasing them around for 30 minutes, couldn't do shit to them. He sends 2 TIE fighters. And like the plan succeeds despite Thrawn's best efforts almost. Thrawn seems retarded in this. I really do think. And I think Lars plays him fine, but I think what they have him do, what they have him say, his plan in general is just fucking retarded. And there's no reason why anyone should think that he's a threat to the galaxy at this point.
Yep. And I saw Echo Base Network just kind of had a meltdown over this stuff. So they're like, we're never talking Star Wars again. So I don't know what sent them over the edge, but happy to see more people just give up on Disney Star Wars because, again, like I said, basically Disney Star Wars is like a Democrat-run city. Go ahead and have it, and then in a couple of years you're gonna be crying, wondering why it's all just burnt to the ground, and you know everybody that's decent left it behind, and you're gonna be stuck with a bunch of blue-haired, you know, Landwell freaks. And there's not going to be any Disney Star Wars anymore because people try to tell you that this isn't working. And now people are just going to walk away completely and it's just going to be dead. It's going to be dead. Let's see. Crit Nature. Holy crap. For 50 says, hey, Jeremy, did you hear about season 5 of Mayans? In episode 1, there's an all-female biker gang. What are they doing? What they're doing? Saving dogs. And a hippie gang leader who suddenly is the president of the SOA chapter. Like, what the fuck? Glad they make Sons of Anarchy years ago. Yeah, man. I might have watched one episode of Mayans, and it's just, I don't remember it being like offensively bad or anything. It's just, there's something like the casting in Sons of Anarchy is phenomenal. And it was definitely made. It's so weird to say this because Sons of Anarchy was only made a few years ago. It was made in a different time where you could make, you know, very racist remarks and direct remarks, and you could refer to like
those are called the good old days.
The good old days. And so Mayans, I was interested in the idea of it when I heard about it, but it just doesn't seem like the execution was there. I know Kurt Sutter was involved in the creation of Mayans. I think they got rid of him at some point in time. But yeah, I couldn't get into it. That sounds mega cringe right there. Because like in Sons of Anarchy, like women are considered just old ladies. Stay the fuck out of our way. You're an old lady. You're meant to cook and get fucked. Ryan, I know you like that angle. You know, and obviously Gemma, you know, gets more involved, but still, like you couldn't get away with that stuff these days. You just couldn't do it. So the fact that they have like this cringe all-female biker gang is pretty bad. That's really bad, actually. I see MCU fan is in the chat. Hello, MCU fan. Good to see you. The chat is just absolutely insane right now. Insane. But we got topics to get to. So Ryan, what is our first topic?
I guess we might as well talk about it right now since the stock is still below $80 per share. But we got to talk a little bit about Disney because it seems like they are in full panic mode right now, to be honest with you. I don't know why I had to.
It's so
that update.
No. So Jed actually said it. He thought he was just setting it to his when he would share his screen, because he shares his screen for me on CobraCast. But it does it for everybody now, which I kind of like it that way. I kind of like that I can share my screen and prep it without it just automatically going on. But it's a universal thing for all admins. when you
There we
change it in
go.
the settings. So
That's cool. But anyway, when Bob Iger came back to Disney last year, people thought, oh, he's going to save everything. He's going to be the hero. He's going to turn things around. But unfortunately, it's been anything but that. And now, yesterday, Disney stock hit another record low. Disney stock drops to lowest price since 2014. Today, October 4th, so yesterday, Disney reached a new low price of $78.76 around 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Disney's stock price hasn't been this low since February 7th, 2014. That is pre-Force Awakens, by the way, just to be clear, when it was $75 per share. And as we look at it right now, it's sitting at $79.45. This is just over the last 6 months. It's down 20%. 2022, they lost 50% of their stock value. Investors were furious. They thought Bob Iger would turn it around, and that hasn't happened. And look at what they're doing now, Jeremy, something you almost never see. Disney is discounting child tickets at U.S. parks as industry attendance lags. Man, oh man, Disney. When you see Disney start chopping prices to desperately try to get people into their theme parks, you know they're struggling, because normally this is not something that would happen. You've spent a lot more time at the parks than I have in your life, Jeremy. How often, at least in the last couple of years, do you see $50 tickets to go to
it
the
is
park?
impossible to comprehend, if you know this park for all of these decades, how powerful it has been and how busy it has been, and how Disney was just at a point where they would literally just turn people away. And this place is like twice the size of Manhattan, to make you understand. It's twice the size of Manhattan. And there's 4 theme parks, there's 2 water parks, there's a wide world of sports, there's like 30 something resort hotels. And the fact that they are now cutting prices to get people here is truly astonishing beyond belief. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Well, I mean, I can't believe it because I've been covering Disney for all of these years. But this is where, when you get to this point, when the theme parks are suffering, this is their last line of defense. This is their last line of defense over everything, over shows, over movies, over video games, which they've definitely gotten involved in over the years and not done very well in that department, over streaming, over when the theme parks are struggling. That is a massive red flag for them as a company. And I bet all the investors are looking at this thinking, we are in serious, serious trouble right now. And Universal's crushing it still. Now, I don't know, Jay knows the numbers and Tom knows the specific numbers about how all that's going, but Universal is continuing to do really, really well. They're looking at opening up Epic Universe here in the next year or two, I think. So they don't have an excuse. Disney doesn't have a legitimate excuse for this. And it's obvious why this is happening. This is happening because they have destroyed the trust in their brand, in their company, because they are meant for families.
Yeah.
You've lost the trust of families. It's wild, man. It's wild. So they deserve it. They deserve it.
Yeah, and this is combined with them, the new password sharing crackdown they're doing for Disney Plus in an effort to try to get more people there. This is with all the failures they've had in the box office. We just found out that Little Mermaid is actually a bigger failure than anyone thought. The budget as of through August of last year for Little Mermaid had ballooned up to $300 million. Who knows what it was when it was all said and done, but certainly that thing that the industry, including some YouTubers that are retarded, try to spin as a success, try to spin it as, oh, it actually made money for Disney at the box office. No, it is a catastrophic failure. And that's really what this entire company is going through at every single level. Now, who knows what the attendance is right now, Universal compared to Disney. Maybe we'll see those numbers at the end of the year, but just compare it to Halloween Horror Nights, where they virtually sold out of their highest tier passes and stuff like that they're charging like $1,000 for at Halloween Horror Nights, because they don't have any more room for people. That's the demand that Universal has right now for some of their stuff. So it'll be interesting to see going forward what Disney does. Last time they recently said, hey, we're investing $60 billion over the next 10 years into the theme parks, and their stock price went down. Everything they do, they can't seem to garner any investor support.
It really is. It really is something to watch this all play out. Does Frank Gore in the chat maybe Chris Gore, whatever his name is this week. I saw people talking. If Chris is here, hello, Chris Gore. And we also, Ryan, it's everybody's birthday today, apparently. It's everybody's birthday. Let's see here. Right here, Cristiano says, today is my birthday too. Birthday month is gay. Hail the chat and praise Ara. Look at that, man. It's everybody's birthday. You gotta love that, man.
Praise Ara.
Yeah, MCU fan is back. Doesn't this nut sleep? I'd be having sleepless nights too if I couldn't see my kids. Would explain his desire to control the chat to make up for the control he lost. God damn. I almost feel bad for him. Steven Wasik went ham on MCU fan, and MCU fan specifically gave instructions to not mention him in super chats. So I don't know what's going on with that one. Yellow Flash is here. What's up, Yellow Flash?
It's also his birthday. Thanks for the love. Happy birthday.
Man, this chat is crazy today. I don't understand what's happening. This chat is off the chain. You guys know how much I love seeing this chat out of control, moving very, very fast. We got 50 bombs being dropped. Link Okinobi's here. Holy crap. What the hell's going on, Ryan? Why are they so hyped today?
I don't know. Everyone's birthday. That's one thing that's exciting a lot of people. That's for sure.
I mean, let's be real though. Every day's hyped here on G&G. That's just how it is. But
they really wanted to hear about Disney.
Hell yeah. I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't want to hear about the failure of Disney? I saw Echo Base Network in the chat. What's up, Echo Base Network? I retweeted them yesterday after their rant about Disney Star Wars. Listen, man, I'm in a weird spot because again, I covered all of this for so long, and I was emotionally invested. I did genuinely feel like Disney Star Wars could be saved for all those years that I was talking about it. And I think the breaking point for me, it's not the point I stopped, obviously, but the breaking point for me was Rise of Skywalker. When Rise of Skywalker failed, and yes, Rise of Skywalker was a failure. It was a failure. Yes, it made $1 billion. It lost 50% of the audience from The Force Awakens. It was a failure. And after that, after the creative failure and the financial failure of Rise of Skywalker, I said, there's no way that they can continue on this path. Like, they have to see that the fans were clearly right about everything that's happened. Clearly. And that, I guess in some ways, like you had The Mandalorian after that. When did Mandalorian come out in respect to Rise of Skywalker, Ryan? How long after?
Well, the first season of Mandalorian was coming out as Rise of Skywalker happened, right? Because they had the episode where Grogu healed somebody.
The Force healing.
And then Rise of Skywalker came out and people saw Force healing. So it was right around the same time.
Okay. And so it kind of looked like they were heading in a different direction there for a short period of time, but clearly they never were. And now you've gotten to a point where I don't know if Ahsoka, is Ahsoka, what's the worst thing you've seen from Disney Star Wars, Ryan? You personally. On the live action side, like in terms of like all the stuff they've done.
I think Ahsoka is kind of in the middle. I think there's a lot of bad shit with it. But I don't know if it's as bad of a show as Book of Boba Fett or Obi-Wan. I don't think it's as good as first season of Mando. Or even second season of Mando. It's kind of in the middle somewhere. So
Obi-Wan's
not very good for me. But
Obi-Wan's still the worst thing I think I've seen.
I think Obi-Wan is the worst in terms of the overall damage it does to a character you still care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi was awful. It was awful.
And really dumb as well. There's a lot of things that are really dumb about this series, but to be frank, because not as many people care about these characters, I don't know if it's going to be viewed in that same way. We've seen it with the lack of interest in it in general compared to some of the other Star Wars shows.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. I think that when it comes to people that thought it was going to get turned around, I think a lot of that is based off people had hope. And I think some people, put out messages about Favreau and Filoni were actively working against Kathleen Kennedy and were like, oh, they were going to usurp her, and all this bullshit that I think in retrospect, pretty much everyone can look back and be, yeah, that's not real. That was never a thing. That was never going to happen. But I do think at that moment, there were people that got gaslit into believing that faith in Filoni was anti-Kathleen Kennedy. So I think you saw a lot of people that like pushed their hope in Star Wars towards that type of future.
Yeah, and I was one of them. I thought Az had a really good breakdown of how, because Ripa doesn't follow Star Wars, so he asked Az about like how did this all happen, and I thought Az gave a really good kind of perspective on it, where you know, there was a lot of good faith, mainly from the Clone Wars. Not so much Rebels. I think Rebels was fine, but Clone Wars is where the good faith for Filoni was built up, but Rebels was meh at best. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. It was fine, but you could definitely see he wasn't the same without George. And, but then now I don't know who has faith in Filoni moving forward. I really don't. It really isn't the same now.
He still has his core fan base, you know.
He does, but it ain't nearly the momentum
loud.
is not where it was before. I mean, I've seen videos for praising Filoni from legitimate Star Wars channels, and not just Star Wars Theories and others to name everybody's. There's other channels out there that I like, that I've watched over the years that have been really pro Filoni, and the views back in the day, years ago, those things would get hundreds and hundreds, thousands of views on channels that weren't huge. I think people now, after Ahsoka, it feels like that has definitely shifted a lot. Not completely, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously there's still people out there that you know, have their opinions on it, but it feels like that narrative has shifted a lot after Ahsoka.
I've always had my problems with him. Obviously,
I know you have. I know you
stand it when, you know, 2018, 2019, and people were pushing, you know, Dave Filoni is the way. Because I'm like, you guys don't even like. A lot of the people that were pushing that had no idea who he was. He just wasn't Kathleen Kennedy, so it was fine for them to get excited about that. People who hadn't even watched Clone Wars, people who hadn't watched Rebels.
There's a lot of people that never watched Clone Wars that jumped on the Dave Filoni bandwagon because they saw people like me talking about it. I saw all that. Yep.
Yeah, 100%. People, oh, we've got a gunslinger out there, Cowboy Dave, who've never even heard him lisp. So, you know, but as this has happened, I think people now are kind of coming to the realization that even if you think that Dave Filoni is a good creator, can do some good stuff, and, you know Star Wars and can create some cool shows, the agenda is still all the same. He's working with Kathleen Kennedy. He's working for Kathleen Kennedy. Everyone at Lucasfilm is moving towards the same thing. This is a prequel to the sequels. That's what the Mandoverse is. They were pretty straight up about that from the beginning. I said that in the beginning. A lot of people refused. They thought it was some secret coded message because Kathleen Kennedy had a gun pointed to their head. But no, the entire thing was meant to connect the prequels, the original trilogy, and the sequels. And you could, with all the other complaints you could add, you could argue that they've actually accomplished that. They've brought in elements from Clone Wars and prequel era stuff, mixed with some original trilogy characters, and are setting the stage for things to go to the sequel trilogy. With all the Force-sensitive cloning, Operation Necromancer, with that Shadow Council that had General Hux and stuff like that. I mean, you can't, if you're still trying to deny it at this point, that is you doing that. Now, whether you like it or not is completely a subjective thing. But you can't deny that's all leading to the sequels, despite whatever you may 100%. Have believed because of a video a couple years ago.
I keep seeing Anima Chains in the chat saying we haven't gone live yet, that we're late, and I don't know if you're being serious about it or not, but we're we're not late. Like, because I've seen like this, like the third comment. So Anima Chains, if people in the chat can tell Anima Chains that we are live, they maybe need to refresh, because this is like the fourth comment I've seen from Anima Chains. So they're like, man, this is Gary running this stream. They're really late today. And they're like, 25 minutes, guys. There's 2,000 people watching. You guys going to start? So, yeah, there we go. Okay. Anyway, Ryan, let's read some super chats.
All right. Pull up the thing here. We got a lot of people very chatty today.
It's good. We like it. We like it.
Over on Rumble, Faux Peasy for $5. Jeremy, Would you work for the Biden campaign for 2 months prior to election, doing your best work for a guaranteed production of Titanfall 3?
No. Well, I mean, I would probably sabotage the Biden campaign if I did that, but
I don't think you'd make much of a difference. I think it'd be worth it.
It maybe I just couldn't do it in good faith. You know what I mean? Good conscience. I just could do it. But I think Titanfall 3 is going to happen, baby. I think it's happening. We'll see.
Linko Kenobi for $50. What's up, Jeremy? What's up, Jeremy? I agree that Star Wars is falling apart. My birthday is on October 16th. I would love to play Halo or Gears with you guys. Anyway, have you guys watched the trailer to Zombie Town? I hope you guys have a great day. Trump 2024, 199.
Zombie
Thank you,
Town.
Linko.
I don't think I've seen the trailer for Zombie Town. Thank you, Link, and happy birthday.
Happy early birthday. Happy birthday month.
Out. Yeah. Happy birthday month. Ryan loves when you guys tell him when it's your birthday. Even if it's in advance, he loves it. The only thing Ryan loves more than that is anime recommendations. He's a big fan of that. He's a big fan.
Yeah, like if it's your birthday, celebrate your birthday. I don't have any issue with that. But it's like birthday week stream, pre-birthday stream, birthday stream, post-birthday park hop and meetup. It's just like, holy fuck. Jeez, we get it. Happy birthday. Doug B for $10. Well, if you look at it this way, I gave 1.6 memberships per day for the month. Plus, there will probably be more, I'm sure. Thank you, Doug.
Nice. Hey, look, Ryan, it's Todd Tyler's birthday year.
You're really special. You're the only person that has a birthday year, Todd Tyler. Docs GR for 10. Hey, Jeremy, as B Bleep X, I tagged you on Twitter about Biden's dog biting incidents. Also tagged Legion Memers for inspiration.
Noted. Yeah, I'll check it out.
I actually think that's a conspiracy. I don't think that Biden's dog is biting people. I think it's Biden. I think he's got dementia. He's the one that's fucking biting people, and they're blaming the dog. So they don't put him down.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Jay's saggy orangutan titties for 199. Happy high tea day, Obama. Thank you. Jameek Robinson, member for 3 months. Thank you. Gunner, welcome to the 199. Jay's saggy orangutan titties for 199. Late and scissor me timbers. That's why they left 3 of the women on Peridia so that they can eventually hook up. Kevin Terrell for 5. I miss WWE Attitude Era. It's never coming back. But when The Rock shows up, I'll tune in for a bit. Didn't even know of prequel hate till I got older. As I said, every generation wants the good old days. There's a lot of pushback to the prequels from older fans.
A lot, actually. It's not as bad as it used to be, but there's always been a lot of prequel hate, and it's always aggravated the hell out of me.
Again, one of the problems with prequels is that when you know how the story ends, it's very easy to have in your mind what happened. It's so much easier for people to come up with those ideas and expect those things based on where you know the story is ending. Whereas when you're doing a sequel, you can have your theories and stuff like that, but it doesn't have a definitive ending. So it's very different. And I feel like the acceptance of something is very different when it comes to a sequel versus a prequel.
Well, yeah, and I think that's why there's a lot of like hardcore One Piece fans that aren't loving, the live action. And I think there's a ton that are, by the way, too, to be clear. But I do get that. Like, I get when you know the story and you're seeing it retold, or you're seeing I get it. I do understand it. My thing was like, what aggravated me about the prequel hate was the George Lucas hate. You know what I mean? That's what aggravated me, because it was bad. It was bad. The hell Lucas called. Now, again,
I think it was loud for sure.
If you look at the hate that Lucas got, it's so wild, because prior to the Phantom Menace coming out, George Lucas was like a mythical god. You know what I mean? Like, he couldn't. People just had him in this place where this man can do no wrong. And then it was like then after the Phantom Menace, like, this man did everything wrong. It was wild, man.
Gunner with 10 gifted memberships. Thank you very much, Gunner. 10 more members of the 199.
Hell yeah.
Andy plays games for 5. Jeremy, the other day on Facebook, I saw friends post with one of their friends. Their friend's name, Jeremy Osteen. I was confused a bit, and then I LOL'd.
Jeremy Osteen. That name's getting traction.
Jeremy Osteen. That's wild. Very strange. Gremlin Anku for 10. I've been watching old shows because new ones suck, but season 4, episode 3, roughly 2 minutes of the FX, The League, is highly memeable. You will thank me. Beardo won't. Hail the 199. Dude, The League is fucking great. The League is a great show if you're into fantasy football. It's just a show for dudes. These 5 idiots that have a fantasy football league. It's really fun.
That actually sounds really good. I haven't watched it though. It sounds like it would be something I would totally dig. It's just a dude show about fantasy football. That's it.
Yes.
That's really all. Oh, that sounds
fun. And
like
all of their lives revolve around fantasy football. So they might end up doing something pretty fucked up, either to screw somebody over or to get an advantage or to make a trade or something, right?
That's fantastic.
And all of them are like idiots and have fucked up lives and shit. So it's very good.
I gotta watch that.
Doug B for $10. Happy birthday, Cristiano Antunes. Thank you, Doug. Happy birthday to you again. Spider Claw for 5. Good to see the real Ryan. Finally got rid of Ryan adjacent. Now super chats will be read properly.
Beardo was struggling the other night on main event. Hey, listen, Beardo's better than me. Okay, I mean, it's not saying a lot, but he's better than me.
There you go. That's the bar. Kevin Cron, welcome to the 199. Master Austin, member for 6 months. Star Wars, born May 25th, 1977. Died October 30th, 2012. Yeah, one day before Halloween.
It is true. Both Ryan and Beardo have the Ara and Opla. That's pretty funny. Couple of banger memes created from that.
Tobias Nexus for 5. Swift is essentially the new Beatles or Elvis Presley fan base wise. Like her or hate her, you have to admit she's one of the most popular artists. Yes. Like 100%. Regardless of your feeling, she is a megastar. Even if you don't get it, even if you don't like it, she's a megastar.
Yes, she is. She really is. Rippa in the house. What's up, young Rippa? Again, his stream with Az was really good. You guys can go check that out, man. I had a lot of fun watching him. So
motherfucker came into my Sports Wars stream last night with like 150 people and called me gay. So I had to respond. I had Robert Barnes. We're sitting there talking about sports gambling and had to respond because obviously there's nothing as gay as rooting for the Dallas fucking Cowboys. And I didn't even know if Ripple was a Cowboys fan. I just said it. I had to assume. But.
It's funny as hell. Shout out Rippa.
Lover of Green for $10. Ryan, where did the "we're fucked" thumbnail thing come from? I'm surprised the text isn't on most G&G daily thumbnails. By the way, can't wait to see Drinker's glorious stream today. Can't wait to see Drinker's stream later today. It will be glorious. I don't know. I just was like, hey, I need to show that this person's not happy about this. We're fucked seemed like a pretty good way to do it. Whenever you have like a Bob Iger on, I literally just released a video that has Bob Iger saying we're fucked. So I don't know. Steven Wasik, Jeremy, don't take this personally. I don't watch Fortnite for the gameplay. It's just background noise while I join the chat. Pile on MCU fan. Highlight of my night after Weebs and Waifu stream.
No, dude, not at all, man. I will never take anything personally. Like Geeks and Gamers, we do a lot of different stuff with and so I know that everybody's not going to be into everything that we're covering and doing, and that's perfectly fine. That's how it's designed. But yeah, so if you use some of our stuff that you're not so much into as background noise, I consider that a compliment, honestly, more than anything, because at least you're showing us some support. So that's appreciated for sure, man. I mean, hey, I had Adam Krigler on CobraCast last night, and he accidentally admitted that he's watched way more Fortnite streams of ours than he wanted me to know. And that was pretty funny because he's not a fan of Fortnite, but he said, I've watched a ton of your Fortnite streams. He goes, I guess I shouldn't have admitted that, but I was like, oh yeah, you've been lurking watching Fortnite, huh, buddy? So yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. That's why we're going to Titanfall. We're playing some other games. I'd love to get Halo and Gears going. So yeah, and with Halo, it looks like, I mean, especially the Master Chief Collection, we could definitely play some more Halo. So I'm looking forward to that.
Anima Chains for 10. Holy shit, I was watching the loading page this whole time. Chat was rolling on a blank screen for
Damn.
30 minutes. Now I refresh, you've been on. Wow. So you just
Damn.
thought people were sending us a bunch of super chats, we weren't even fucking streaming?
I think he said the chat was frozen too. Is that what he said?
He said the chat was rolling on a blank screen. I just figured he meant the loading screen, but I don't know.
Okay. Well, now you're here, Anima Chains. I knew you weren't trolling. I knew you were like, I was like, Anima Chains is definitely a supporter. So I hope we can help you get said yes, I suck. Shout out to you, Anima Chains.
Objectively a cat to MCU fan hanging out in the Nake Pit.
Yes.
Sandstorm.
Last night. That was a typo from last night.
Oh. Sandstorm, member for 6 months. Happy birthday, and thanks, Doug B, for the gifty. Loving the new Cobra Cast primetime hours. All hail G&G in the 199.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Cobra Cast was fantastic last night. We appreciate you guys.
Spikefish Network for 2. Ryan, would you ever debate Star Wars theory? I don't know what we would debate. If you ever wanted to talk, that'd be cool. I don't feel the need to try to convince everybody to think the same as me. And I don't feel like just because someone else has another opinion on me than Star Wars that I need to convince them or whatever. People view things differently. So, for instance, there are some people that are fans of the expanded universe that when they see something that gets, whether it's a storyline or a character or something that's brought into current Disney canon, even though it's not the same characterization, even though it's a different situation, even though I think it's a bastardization, fucking can't stand it, want them to do their own stuff. Some people see that and they like it because it reminds them of a story they saw in the EU. That's just different ways of people approaching how they view something.
Yeah, I'm not like, I mean, I'll playfully fight over something dumb like, the Batman movies. Like me and Beardo argue over that dumb shit all the time as kind of like a thing, and we do that whether the camera's on or the camera's off. Me and Ryan fight about dumb shit just because it's but I don't like on movies, I don't care to set up like a debate to go like, this is why you should not like this movie or like this movie. There are people out there that are fantastic at that. Someone like Mahler is fantastic at that. I know everybody, like every time I mention Interstellar is my favorite movie, it's like, oh, Mahler is going to rip you apart. I'm like, I've talked to Mahler. I know how much he hates Interstellar. It literally will have no impact on how much I love Interstellar. None whatsoever. Because it's a subjective opinion. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to affect my subjective opinion on anything. So, yeah, I mean, theory. I love theory. I always got theories back. I know people are, all on him over his opinion over or Ahsoka or whatever. But
he's the biggest Star Wars channel, so whether you've got a positive or negative opinion about it, there's always going to be a lot of other people watching that don't, that call you out for this or that. End of the day, no opinion that he's ever had has bothered me. I don't talk about it, so I don't know why I would need to debate him.
Well,
if you ever want to talk about Star Wars,
the thing I don't like when people start saying you're racist or you're sexist for liking movies or not liking movies. That's where I go, well, hold the fuck up. You know what I mean? But if somebody's like, I like this. Okay, cool. I didn't. Cool. You know what I mean? That's really all.
Like I am not a big fan of Dave Filoni projects, right? So going into Ahsoka, really? A lot of people are though. And I acknowledge that a lot of people are. I don't see it that way and I don't enjoy it the same way as they do. But like going into Ahsoka, I had a feeling that this was going to be like a combination of all the things that I really don't like about some aspects of Star Wars. Dave Filoni, the characters from Rebels, which was not a big fan of, Ahsoka Tano, who I believe should have died a long fucking time ago and can't stand the fact that she's still alive, combined with taking things that I loved in the expanded universe, but in my mind, bastardizing them. And that is the culmination of what we saw with the Ahsoka series. So obviously I kind of felt from the beginning I wasn't likely to like it. And I did not.
Yep.
Shocker. Doug B, member for 12 months. Hey, MCU fan, this isn't a super chat, so you can't be mad at me.
I saw MCU fan was arguing with Doug, trying to explain why that it's still a member message and it's a problem. So
the Polar J Bowman for 2. It's my birthday year. Well, why you pull a fire alarm to celebrate? The real Sean Mack gives 5 memberships. Thank you, Sean Mack. Roland New, member for 6 months. They fundamentally destroyed the way the Force works in Ahsoka. Not only that, but 90% makes 0 sense. No questions answered at all. Plethora of probs. Yes, it's definitely, to me, it was very mystery box storytelling. And it was a fairly simple plot, 100%. Tobias Nexus for 5. I feel bad for my fellow furs made by Disney. From Robin Hood to Zootopia, we'll be looking for new inspirations for art and writing form from new sources. I've heard a lot of really freaky furry shit about Zootopia.
Yeah, I did not like Zootopia. I've only saw it one time and I did not like it. And
I didn't
clearly
mind
there's
it.
a bunch of weirdo. Oh, fuck that movie, man. It's social justice propaganda, man. Before it really became a thing. Like it's all about fucking inclusion, representation. Everybody gets a fucking trophy. I fucking hated Zootopia, dude. I hated that movie. But knowing that the freaks out there that like it now, like that just kind of confirms it.
Yeah, like anthropomorphic. Is that how you say? When fucking animals look like people. Anytime you have any of that, there's always going to be a lot of degenerates like Tobias out there that are jerking off to it. No offense, Tobias, but yes. Tomac.
For the way, for the record, I don't judge you for whatever you do in private because I don't know what you do in private. It's when you make it part of your public persona. You know what I mean? Like that's weird.
So you're shouting out Tobias again.
Yeah. Shout out
dogging
Tobias.
on Tobias.
We like Tobias. Shout out Rags. Hi, Rags.
Axel Jessen for 5. Time for some Florida tropical news. Here's $5 for Jay's helmet fund. Jay needs a helmet. Tomac for $50. Anime recommendations, you say. How about Afro Samurai, since people are throwing a hissy fit over Silent Night? Afro Samurai. Is that a race swap samurai?
It sounds like something Ryan would love. By the way, speaking of helmets, did you hear what Candace Owens said to that blue-haired land whale?
Yeah, if you don't, yeah, I did. That's gonna be the new thing.
Get a helmet.
Get a helmet.
Yes. So good.
Clown for $20. Is it me or does Sabine and Ahsoka staring remind me of Mugatu latte scene from Zoolander? Also, Jeremy, can we use the emoji when you break down the Acolyte show? By the way, do you know Leslie Headland's queer? LOL.
Yeah, I didn't know, but it doesn't surprise me. She's probably after Harvey got done with him, she was probably hooking up with him too.
There you go. Over on Rumble, Nagardnall for 5. Guys, the fuck? Guys be Schropp, Yellow Flask. He's a clownge. MCU fan.
MCU fan has some trouble spelling, apparently. I didn't know that was a thing.
Typing.
Well, yeah, because like for the longest, and again, just to be clear, okay, people think like I am involved. I am not involved in MCU fan being in the chat. Okay, MCU fan showed up naturally, and I love that MCU fan is in this chat, just creating chaos. As you guys know, I like when the chat I like when the chat's going crazy. I like seeing it. I feed off that energy, but for the longest time, I kept seeing the chat responding to MCU fan with these weird spelled words, and I didn't understand it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then I realized like it was him misspelling, so then they were throwing his typos back at him. I get it now, but at first I didn't. I did meet him because he was at Universal. So yes, we met way after the fact of MCU fan being in the chat, and it was awkward to say the least.
He didn't want to talk to me.
He did not want to talk to Ryan. He
no
did
fucking
not
interest.
want to talk to Ryan. He did not.
No fucking interest. Talking to all these other people. Hey, Ryan's over there. You want to talk to him?
Oh, no, he did not want to talk.
All right, fuck you too. Basically. Darth Hard R, member for 2 months. Hail G&G, if you were in charge at Disney, how would you go about firing the talentless hacks at Lucasfilm, and how would you go about replacing them? Would you fire all of them? That's very easy. Lucasfilm needs a top-down cleaning.
Elon Musk Twitter scenario. That's the only way. The only way this happens is that, and I don't think that that's realistic. I don't think that that's going to happen. I just don't.
Jessica says, I would talk to you, Ryan. I believe you, Jessica. A lot of people would. Some people got no interest in talking to me. And, that just is what it is. Life goes on. East Coast Toasty
Seriously,
Boy.
we said family. Ryan's there. You taught him? No. He didn't. It wasn't like rude, or it was literally probably the most disrespectful thing, because he showed no real emotion. He's like, no.
No interest. Sounds good. East Coast Toasty Boy for 5. I mean, when you cater to pedos, that's the one thing you do if you want to lose families as customers. Crazy that it came from a family company, though. Yep. Luis Cuevas, member for 2 months. Hey guys, 2024 will be my birthday year. This year I got 1984 as a gift. Praise Allah. Oh wow. There you go. 1984. You better make sure to give a copy to Comics
Division.
Sir Hat for 5. If you open the stream during the waiting room on mobile, you have to refresh, or you're just in the waiting room screen forever. Apparently, we learned something new. Eric Stratton, member for 6 months. Highlighted chat to MCU flan. A great dessert. Thank you.
I see Carolyn in the chat. What's up, Carolyn?
What's up, Kara? CJR 1984 for $25. Thanks for everything you do. Life is shitty right now, and you guys help brighten the darkness slightly. Well, you're welcome. If there's one thing I've been known for, is for brightening people's lives. So I'm glad I can be a small part of that.
Ryan is a very, very positive source. But in all seriousness, we're glad, that we can give you guys anything to look forward to. I look forward to this show every day. Look forward to seeing the chat. Look forward to Cobra Cast, all the gaming streams. And I guess I need to start making videos again, Ryan. I made like 2 videos, maybe 3.
Well.
And we started, and they did really good. And we started gaining subs. And you know what happened? We started to lose subs again.
Yes. That's how it works.
God damn it, man. Why
can't you
I'm
just
really
stream?
aggravated. I know. No. What is I can't believe, like, the last 3 videos have all hit over 50,000, and one of them hit over 100,000. The other one, I would have had 2 over 100K if the age restriction didn't hit on that one, which is still wild that one got age restricted, because that one was tracking
stuff.
Yeah, that one was tracking higher than the other one that got 100K, and then as soon as the age restriction happened, boom, it killed it. But
my channel's been in the fucking shitter algorithm wise, but thank you, Director X, for helping me out. Man, if you hadn't complained about all the bad reviews on your Robin Hood show, I wouldn't have been able to make that video.
This dude's an idiot, man.
And then if you wouldn't have responded to, did you see him respond to me about the VPN thing?
No, I didn't see he responded to you on Twitter, because I shouted your tweet out last night on Cobra Cast and retweeted it, but I didn't see that he responded to you about the VPN thing. I didn't see that part.
He did, and it just really goes to show this guy's a fucking retard.
Well, that's pretty obvious right there, dude. Gary's like tweet is so good.
Well, the opening scene is them like committing crimes and filming it. So like it's like not even inaccurate necessarily.
Director X does eat corn the long way. 100%. 100%. All right, here we go.
So this is like the idiot who said, first of all, he got destroyed on this. 188 comments to 8 likes. It's not like this guy's a nobody. He has 26,000 followers. It's not like he has like 100 followers or something.
Yeah.
But nobody has his back on this. And people are saying, well, did you ever think that maybe the people that are from different countries that are reviewing this, maybe they could have used a VPN? You've all arrived. I love how these folks see an obvious review bomb and say VPN. Y'all really play stupid. Well, all I had to do is go back in his reply is 6 days to see that somebody said, hey, does it have an American release I'd really like to watch? Not yet. It's VPN time. Like, how dumb are you? And he actually did reply. Okay, bud, it's an obvious bombing. Even if these peoples actually watch the show, you all act like what is in front of our face isn't happening. So think about what he said. Even if people watched it, even if you did watch it, if you didn't like it and you go over there and you give it a bad score, that's review bombing to him.
That is unbelievable that he's that dumb. Holy crap. That is insanity. This dude is, oh man. I mean, Whatever, man. The reason you're getting wrecked is, oh gosh, he's
oh yeah, he's doing everything. He's desperate to get on our shows. That's what really is really going on. He replied to Gary, trying to get on Gary's show. He's trying to go on Disparu's show. He's trying to get Quarterin's attention. Right?
He was gonna talk. He was gonna talk to us back when he went after Josiah for his Geeks and Gamers video. He wanted to talk to us. I was like,
look at this. Here we go. Here we go. He just tweeted out my video. I'm just gonna retweet him. There you go.
I got it too. I'll retweet it. it.
Don't even need to quote tweet you, buddy. But this is him, right? Sharing the Quartering stuff out. My comments are filled with people saying my show isn't getting review bombed as they pile into every social media platform to talk shit. But I'm sure IMDb is sacred ground where y'all would never act as you do here, IG or TikTok. Y'all really think people can't see what's happening? Dude, nobody was talking to you before you made your cringe TikTok Instagram.
Nobody was
in your comment. Like, nobody was in your fucking Twitter. I didn't even know you had a Twitter account. It wasn't until you start complaining about this stuff that you got people in your comments. And out of your 26,000 people following, nobody agrees with you, which is just wild to me. But I'll get him some more traction by retweeting him. So I appreciate it.
That is wild, man. Holy crap.
He's desperate for attention in terms of getting on people's show. That's what he wants. He tried to, he was talking to Az, tried to get on with Az, Garrett, everybody. He's desperate to fucking come on and get some clout. That's really what he wants.
Yeah, I'll give you a tip. Director X is number one way to get on people's shows to have a conversation with them. Probably don't call them racist and sexist. Just an idea. Just an idea. You know, because if he would have sit there and said, hey, I see there's a lot of criticism with the show. It's a little bit puzzling to me. I'm curious about where this criticism comes from, because from the outside looking in, from my perspective, it seems like it might be one thing, but maybe it's another thing. So if these guys are willing to have a respectable conversation, I would love to have that with them. Guess what? I probably almost everybody's going to take you up on that offer. But if you're just going to run around calling people racist and sexist for having an opinion, no, that's not how that works. Also, his one comment about, like, these are alpha males. These are the guys in the manosphere. And he says, what did he say? When you go up to a girl, do you tell them what you're doing with review bombing? And it's like, do you tell a girl what you do on the internet as a conversation starter ever? Like, what? That makes no sense. It's such a stupid thing to say. Like, yo, what's up, girl? Yeah, I got a fantasy football league. I'm second in my league, right? Like that. You don't start conversations off with what you do on the fucking internet. What the fuck is wrong with this guy, man?
And what I would suggest is maybe consider the possibility. And I even said in my videos, I guarantee you there's some 1 stars there from people that didn't watch the show. Just like I guarantee you there's some 10 stars there from people that didn't watch the show. You're always going to have some people that do that. But overwhelmingly, the response has not been positive. People think it's cringe. People think it's really bad. Maybe it is. Maybe people don't think it's very good. You might think it's great. You might think it's awesome. Maybe people genuinely don't feel like your show is very good. And when you start everything off from this racial narrative, when you decide that you're going to race and gender swap Robin Hood, and by the way, all the protagonists are also going to be people of color, and the only 2 villains in the show are white, maybe people are going to pick up on that pretty quickly. Maybe people inherently are going to think, wow, you must have an agenda at play, because you fucking do. And especially when you insinuate that the only reason people don't like this is just because we're telling a black story. Yeah, maybe people are going to have a problem with that. Director X. What a fucking idiot. What a fucking idiot.
Oh, man. Good stuff.
Oh, man.
Dom H for 20 says LOL OMG. Look at Dom.
Dom the bomb. All right. Where am I?
Ryan was awkwardly quiet there for a minute.
I've lost my entire fucking screen. Here we go.
He was awkwardly silent there for a minute. It made me feel uncomfortable.
I was silent because I lost the StreamYard which also is the same tab I have all the super chats on. So it's just like frantically hunting around for all the different tabs I have, but I found it.
Beardo's shitty Mike says Ryan has to go. He did. Ryan's like, I gotta go. I gotta go return some videotapes.
Objectively a cat for two. Come to Danake Pit to see TDs with MCU fan. Heather Sulu, member for 3 months. Ryan will like to read this. Zootopia is about a used conspiracy to release drugs onto predator hoods in order to create racial violence tension. There you go. I guess I have to rewatch Zootopia. Darth Racer for 5. After Ahsoka, I'm just sad. I realize we're never gonna have great Star Wars again. All they had to do is use great EU storylines available, but no.
Yep.
Liberty Prime, member for 6 months. I love Krista and can't wait for another hug. MCU fan. Also, Toyo's Nake Srop Call Right Clown. Also have a small PP. Thank you. P. Gombi for 5. I'd hope for an R-rated episode where Shin and Ahsoka Sabine until she becomes force sensitive. I'm very disappointed. Carolyn for 6 months. Ryan always helping those in need of attention. A true heart of gold, or at least copper. Yeah, copper might be a better description. A feline named Vijay for 5. Ryan, here's an anime suggestion list for you. I know you will actually complete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And doesn't have anything after those. Hail chat. 199. Praise Ara. That's right. Dom H, member for 3 months. I've been called that before, Dom the Bomb. And Ryan, I said hi to you at least. Yeah, you were fucking excited to see me. That's true. Just Nova for 5. RK. Would Disney Star Wars make sense if George's OT and prequels don't exist? Now, excuse me while I go take a Dave and wipe my KK. Hail.
What was the question?
Would Disney Star Wars make sense if George's OT and prequels don't exist? You mean if Star Wars wasn't a thing and we just saw Disney Star Wars, would it make sense? That's tough because I feel like so much of it relied on
yeah, I'm not sure I even answer that one.
Like Force Awakens, to me, I didn't think Force Awakens was very good, but a lot of people had a good reception to it because it felt like something they'd seen in Star Wars before, whether it was a shot, whether it was something they said, whatever. And I think that without that, I don't know if the reception for Force Awakens is anything. It's because people thought that they were getting a facsimile of Star Wars.
So I hope this doesn't sound disrespectful because I love the thing that I'm about to compare it to. But we're talking about on a success level, okay? We're talking about on a success level, not on how much I appreciate it. But without George's Star Wars, and Disney just comes out with this movie called The Force Awakens with no following, no fan base, no nothing. The success level is probably Starship Troopers. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be a cultural phenomenon. It's not going to be this thing where you can build billion-dollar theme parks out of. It's just not. And I love Starship Troopers, so I'm not comparing the two from a quality standpoint. Starship Troopers is fan-fucking-tastic, but it's not something that a lot of people... It doesn't have massive commercial success. You know what I mean? It doesn't have massive commercial success. It's something that people know about and talk about, and it does have a strong fan base. And I think that Force Awakens would have like a niche fan base of people, but it wouldn't be a $2 billion fucking movie in any way, shape, or form. Wouldn't even be close. Might not even make $100 million at the fucking box office worldwide. You know what I mean? So yeah. that's how I view it.
Well, let's talk about something else that might not make $100 million or ever even see the light of day. We got to talk about Blade, Jeremy. In 2019, that was nice. In 2019, Kevin Feige made the big announcement at Comic-Con about the future of the MCU, and one of those things was bringing Mahershala Ali up on stage to say that they were doing a Blade movie. And some people were wondering, hey, what is this going to be like? I kind of like the original Blade. Is this going to be kind of a disaster? Well, so far, the production alone has been a disaster. Once again, this is from middle of 2022. Marvel shuts down Blade reboot production amid issues behind the scenes. They were trying to film this thing, trying to get it written, but it just wasn't working. Next thing you know, they fire their director. Another one gets hired on. Kevin Feige says, don't worry, we promise we're about to start filming. Then we get this report. Mahershala Ali reportedly demanding changes to MCU script. And all of a sudden, another writer gets fired. Another one gets hired. And then we hear again, there's fucking problems. Then we had the actors, writer strike, blah, blah, blah. What about now? What's the update now? Marvel's Blade gets another complete rewrite. This is the fourth writer that's been attached to this thing, and they're starting it from scratch. Completely rewriting this thing that's been in production now for 4 fucking years. You know, this is something we've seen this now for a couple of these different projects that seem to just be complete chaos behind the scenes. Obviously, Marvel's producing a lot more than they ever had before with all these Disney Plus series. But this is not something we used to hear out of Marvel 3 or 4 years ago. Like, there is so much chaos behind the scenes. They have no idea what they're doing. And this Blade movie looks like it's dead in the water.
Yeah, and this is the sad part of it. And shout out to Gary. I see Gary in the chat. I'll comment on what he said here in just a second. But in terms of like Mahershala Ali, I think like the thing I saw him in first, I believe, was House of Cards. Is that the first place you saw him?
Maybe that I can like remember him from.
Good in House of Cards, man. He just has a screen presence about him. I like him a lot. I think he's a really good actor. But this is not going to work. This is never going to work because Blade is an iconic character. Wesley Snipes did a phenomenal job. But there hasn't been a buzz, at least from my perspective, there hasn't been any buzz for Blade, even when it was announced. It seemed like people sighed when they heard about it. Because even if it would have been cool if in theory, if you would have had like Wesley Snipes involved in some capacity, even if it was just like a mentor or something like that. But I don't think that this is going to work at all. I think this is going to flop and flop hard no matter what they end up producing. But the fact that they're continuing to have to go back to the drawing board over and over and over again shows you that they had no plan. They just saw that, hey, this thing that we've completely ignored when we told you that Black Panther was the first time Black people were in a movie. This thing that we've ignored, it actually has a following and we can capitalize off of it now. But they never had a plan to actually do anything with it. And it's showing. Point blank right there. They had no plan. They never have had a plan. They just saw an opportunity to capitalize off something that had some name recognition. That's it.
And to be honest, if this wasn't Blade, if this was just another random movie, they announced it had this many problems, they might have just said, cut it and run already. But they can't because it's a Black character. They're trying to push all the diverse superheroes. That's what Kevin Feige has said multiple times. It's a promise he followed through on. So they can't. In the same way they couldn't cancel Echo because that's another one that was involving a person of color, an indigenous person with a disability. So they couldn't just cancel that. So now they're going to start from scratch again, potentially the 4th or 5th writer to be attached to this thing. It is a nightmare for them.
It really is. So I thought that Gary's first comment, he said TFA would have been the creator, which I haven't seen the creator. Have you seen it yet?
Not yet. No.
That's a good comparison, I think, because like the creator looks like this kind of whimsical, like, you know, sci-fi film that doesn't really have nobody knows what it is. And I think it's pretty much going to fly under the radar and be forgotten. And then he said TFA would, if it was a Star Wars, it would have been forgotten, you know, the day after or
Monday.
something like that. Yeah. And that's 100% true. Again, I agree with that. What's interesting is how quickly TFA went from this massive success, massively popular success, to something people don't even think about anymore after The Last Jedi. It is wild. And I'm one of those people. I was all in on Disney Star Wars after TFA. I was all in. And my God, man, I don't know if I've ever seen a sequel destroy the prior movie as quickly and easily as Last Jedi destroyed TFA, and essentially it exposed TFA as fool's gold, you know, because TFA clearly was never that good in the first place. But
I think also the Rise of Skywalker helped that a lot too. I feel like after Last Jedi, people obviously had a bad taste in their mouths, but some people were comparing it to, oh, look at all the great things that were set up in this and blah, blah, blah. JJ, and then JJ comes back to the second one and it's fucking horrible, you know?
Yeah.
So obviously part of that is the way it was left after Last Jedi and all these things, but still, I think it was the whole thing combined, once you saw JJ come back to do his second movie, that really turned people off to TFA permanently.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because I do remember when JJ came in and people were like, okay, well, you're right, Last Jedi sucked. JJ, he's got a vision though. He's gonna No, he didn't. He had no idea what he was doing. He had no clue. And again, I compare things like, and I haven't seen Spider-Man 3, Tobey Spider-Man 3, since theaters. Like, I saw it opening night and I didn't like it. And I haven't seen it since. I love Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 3 had no impact on Spider-Man 2 for me. Zero impact, because Spider-Man 2 is a great film on its own. It didn't need the third installment to justify it. I think I would probably watch Spider-Man 3 now and enjoy the hell out of it now, because of where we're at. Because I love Tobey. We've seen everything happen now. I probably would love Spider-Man 3. I wouldn't love it like I do Spider-Man 2, but I think I would probably find a lot of enjoyment from Spider-Man 3. Same with something like Dark Knight Rises, which is clearly not as good as Batman Begins or The Dark Knight. It has no impact on The Dark Knight or Batman Begins in terms of the way you view those movies. So yeah, that just shows you that TFA was just fool's gold the whole time.
The Libertarian Nerd, member for 6 months. You guys should pull a Ripa, monetize your hater. Bring him on so he can embarrass himself for your financial benefit.
I've been there and done that a long time ago. No more. No more of that for me. It as your channel grows, as things get bigger, you just have people that will try to do anything they can to hurt your platform. I'm not saying that would happen with, but in general.
He's begging for a platform, and he's not someone who's going to gauge good faith. So, like, there's no reason to do it. He just wants more attention and to try to label us something. So,
yes.
It'll be funny. I hope he continues to speak about it so I can continue making videos about it. So, Andrew CR for 2,500 check. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Thank you, Andrew. Fable of Man with 10 Geeks and Gamers memberships.
Hell yes.
There you go. Kevin Terrell for 5. What I meant is, what's the difference between the Attitude Era never coming back to old Star Wars never coming back? This WWE is PG, but no one's complaining.
Well, I don't watch wrestling anymore. I haven't watched wrestling since CM Punk pretty much walked out on the WWF or WWE in 2013. I did watch a little bit of AEW. There was a lot of energy when Punk got back. I've tried to watch some of it. I was at WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans when Daniel Bryan won the championship and Austin, Hogan, and Rock opened the show. That was fantastic. That's truly one of the greatest live events I've ever been to see those three guys in the ring together and to see Daniel Bryan win the championship. Undertaker lost his streak that night. But I don't know, man. WWE is a juggernaut. And I don't think people truly understand the worldwide phenomenon that it is. But I would say, and again, chat, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that it's went mega woke or anything. It's gotten a lot more corporate and a lot more toned down, but I don't think WWE has gone mega woke. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know.
They've really been pushing a lot of their female wrestlers heavy the past 5 years.
Yeah, but a lot of them are really good.
I'm not saying they're not, but what I'm saying is that it has a feeling of the way the NBA, the WNBA gets pushed, where it's they are really good, but that's not that's not the main draw. That's not the main interest. You know what I mean?
Is this really happening? CM Punk almost certainly returning at Survivor Series in Chicago. I have heard rumors from fans. Is there actually some legitimate discussion? I haven't been watching a lot of my wrestling shows lately that I watch. I like to watch.
No idea.
I know you don't know.
And I
you
don't care.
So, but is this really happening? Is he really coming back? Because now Vince is no longer in charge of things. So I will watch it. Listen, as a person,
just CM Punk you watched AEW when Punk was there.
Oh, dude, I will never forget him coming out in Chicago. That's one of the greatest moments in wrestling history. That's one of the biggest pops of all time. It was unbelievable. So I'm looking for that kind of just moment. That's all I care about, because the long-term things are not, they're just not there in the wrestling business right now. But like, CM Punk is a terrible person. Like, I don't like him. I hate he's a political piece of shit. As a wrestler, as a talent, as a draw, I still think that he brings a lot to the table. As a person, he's a literal piece of shit. Him and Ryan have a lot in common from certain perspectives. They're not people like, he's not a, like, CM Punk politically is a piece of shit, but just on a personal level, like, he doesn't like, he's not a very happy person, doesn't get along with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Rubs people the wrong way. People that meet people
don't want to meet me. No, I'm good. Bo Lee for 5. I didn't know it was Jay's birthday. Happy birthday, Jay. I didn't know either.
Send all of your happy birthday super chats here for Jay.
Yeah. Spider Claw for 5. I have so many questions. Did that possum survive the fall? Will MCU fan become a man someday? Will Beardo learn to read super chats properly? Find out on the next episode of Geeks and Gamers Daily. Gray Man for $5 check. Ever notice that you never see Ryan Kendall and Ryan Johnson at the same time? Hey, it's true. I actually am the one that taught Dave Filoni everything he knows. He shadowed me during Last Jedi. So, 100%. Sergio Garcia for 2. Hi, Ryan. Today is my birthday decade. Happy birthday decade. Kevin Terrell for 199. This is Jeremy saying my name correctly yesterday. Is it Kevin Terrell or Kevin Terrell?
I don't know. Let me see the super chat. I got to see it. Hang on, I'll look for it in a minute. I think it was probably, I probably said Terrell. Let's see here. I'm looking for it now. Let's
right
see.
Here.
I probably said Terrell.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Terrell or Terrell.
I think I said Terrell. It's funny if I said it correctly yesterday, then I messed it up today.
It's like I always do that with like Terrell Owens, Terrell Owens.
Yeah.
I basically say it different every time I say his name.
Oh, you said yes. He said yes. Okay. All right.
Yes to
Terrell.
Terrell
is what I think he's saying yes to.
There you go.
So there you go. Jeremy was correct. Okay. The hell yeah. See, I got one right. Doug B says, "What did I start?" LOL. You know what? It's Geeks and Gamers, bro. There's always some dumb memes. So now, like, I really hope we get a super chat. Somebody sent like big super chat wishing Jay a happy birthday. I'll screenshot it and send it to him. Did you see Ripa ban him from the chat? Like, I know you probably saw the video. I was watching it live when it happened, and I knew Jay was gonna make a fucking video about it.
Like the best video his channel's had in weeks. This guy blocked me. The Polar J Bowman for 2. Robin in the Hood, Summer of Love. That's what it looks like. Stephen Wasik for 5. MCU fan is the poster child for the internet tough guy. Talk tough in chat, but melt when you're forced to pull up IRL. Pathetic. Sit the fuck down. Heartfelt. Thank you. Spider Claw for 2. Ryan, I think you might have missed my second super. I think I got it. I think I just read it a little bit ago. Sir Hat for 5. I remember talking to my cousin after Rise of Skywalker came out. She didn't know TLJ existed. Didn't even think she'd missed anything while she was watching Rise of Skywalker. Well, interesting. Shutch for 5. The New Day kneeled on Raw during 2020 George Floyd protests. Just saying. There you go. A fan with no name for 5. UFC's push female fighters more than any other promotion. Does Dana, besties with Donald Trump White, seem woke to you? Well, they certainly have tried to push their female fighters to get more female fighters because they have acknowledged that the depth isn't as much there. However, I think it feels a little bit differently, especially when the WWE is tweeting out, "We can't believe for the first time ever we have an all-female main event with a female this and a female that."
Yeah.
And expecting some sort of like woke pat on the back. That's why it's different. That's why it seems different to me than, 2 out of 5 fights being female fights on a card.
Agreed. And the other thing is that you don't have to highlight that. Like if you've watched wrestling for a long time, like female wrestlers are pretty damn good. They're really entertaining. They're really good. And they sell it. And a lot of the reason, like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just they sell really good when they're taking bumps. And that's always been a thing. Like, and like it's kind of a meme too. Like there's occasional time, like during pay-per-views, like sometimes in the women's match, if it's, like they'll put like a battle royale.
That'll be the cool down match.
Yeah, that's the cool down match, something like that. But a lot of them are really good, and but you don't have to push that bullshit.
I mean, for a long time, like obviously you've got skilled athletes and great people in the ring, but also they're there to look pretty.
Yep.
That's just the reality. And we have seen a push for that not to necessarily be the case as of late.
Yep.
And I think people can really tell.
AJ Lee was good. AJ Lee is one of the best I've ever seen. She's CM Punk's wife. So she's really fucking good. And I hate that her career got cut short. I guess through the Punk stuff. I'm not really sure. But she was awesome.
We're all caught up. Wait. Aiden's for 5. Imagine Thrawn's surprise when he has to fight Anakin's son, not just his apprentice. Yeah, maybe no one gave him the lowdown. Is he sitting there talking about Anakin Skywalker? Skywalker? That sounds kind of like Luke Skywalker. Nobody talks about Luke fucking Skywalker.
I know, it's crazy, dude.
In this would be the most fucking famous dude. And nobody fucking mentions his name
by a mile.
ever.
Oh, man.
Elite Neo for 5. With all these typos MCU fan keeps making in chat, sounds like he needs a hug from Krista. Praise be Arop, his typo of drop for the uninitiated. There you go. Steven Wasik for sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Steven Wasik for $10. That gives me an idea. Since MCU fan couldn't follow through with all the trash talk, we need to rename him MCU Punk. He punked out like a bitch, Massive Al. MCU fan, if you keep ducking us, we're going to call you MCU Duck.
Look at this.
Supercharges.
That's really funny. That's really funny. I'm sorry, Ryan. I messed up your Donald Duck joke because I was
all right.
Focused on the super. It was a good one too, Ryan. I just was.
And Antriu for $20 doesn't say anything, but thank you very much for the $20 super chat. Taker for 2. Did you guys see Jimmy Bully McGuire Butler? Yeah, Jimmy Butler, like
bro,
every media
that was
day he does
weird.
something different.
That was so funny. I loved it so
Would you remember what he did last year? He like put the massive dreads on.
Yes.
Because for NBA Media Day, it's when they take their pictures that they're gonna use for the entire season. So it's like
Jimmy Butler's awesome, dude. Jimmy Butler's awesome.
It's not like people.
You gotta miss him in Chicago. I
Yes.
bet you miss him like hell in Chicago.
I do. I hated that they forced him out the way they did. But Jimmy, I saw a lot of people making like memes of like band names and shit. One was just Jimmy Heat World. I thought it was perfect. But yeah, Volt Survivor awesome. For $1 over on Rumble. Shit Clown Wars story writing. Ray, I bypassed the compressor. Wait, the compressor is there for a reason. That means Ray broke the shit more. Try bypassing the compressor in your refrigerator. It would not work out super well. Let's see. Evar Jantz for $10. Anime recommend for Jeremy of all people. Space Adventure Cobra. Bounty Hunter Pirate Spy surrounded by beautiful women and androids with a freaking gun arm.
Sounds pretty badass, actually. Sounds pretty badass.
And now I think we're caught up.
We are caught up. So thank you for all the supercharges. We appreciate that. Thank you for the gift of memberships. Happy birthday to Doug. And there were so many super birthdays today, but Doug got that party started. Kevin Terrell, I resubbed to Geeks and Gamers after seeing the interview on the podcast with Side Scrollers. MB Man, I felt like I was in a rabbit hole of negativity, but glad you became chill. RIP Uche. Hey, man, glad to have you back. And yes, RIP Uche. I had a great interview over on Side Scrollers, and it was a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, for me, it's I never, I don't make videos that I don't want to make. Anything I've made over the years is stuff I've wanted to make for various amount of reasons. And now I'm at a point where I do want to focus on just more of the like stuff that I'm more into, but I will still call stuff out if I see there's a need to call it out, or if I can bring something to the table to have that discussion. It's why I don't talk about Star Wars anymore. And I don't think that other people should stop talking about Star Wars just because I have. I just kind of don't care about it. I don't have a level of passion I can bring to the table anymore. But like a lot of the video game stuff, I'm interested in that. And occasionally there'll be a dumb story that we can laugh at and roast somebody over. But it's just trying to find that right mix. And I think you guys are going to be happy with some of the new kind of direction we're going to take things with content and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it. So Ryan, what do you got going on?
Nothing. I never do anything.
Do anything except make videos.
I never do anything except make videos. I don't talk to anybody. Very alone. I just do my thing.
That's Ryan. That's Ryan.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday month, everyone, says Doug. Thank you. Ryan.
So peasy for 2. Oh. Okay, Jeremy, would you adopt Biden's dog that was recently kicked out of the White House and name him Joe Biden for Titanfall 3?
Yes, I would. 100% would.
Elite Neo for 5. One more supercharge in appreciation for Ryan pronouncing my name right. I did my best.
Get 2 more, 3 more. Holy shit.
Oh, wow. Elson Barrett for $20. Chat's going too slow, so here's a supercharger. Hope it helps.
Sir Hat sent one for you.
Sir Hat for 2. Ryan, please review Bobo.
Evar. Hell if I know. Evar says, funny thing about Space Adventure Cobra, if you look it up, the main character even looks like Jeremy. Well, now I'm interested because I've always wanted to see myself in an anime. I am seriously interested to check it out, though, for sure. Subhuman says, remember when China won the Intercontinental Championship against Jeff Jarrett? Good times. RIP China. Yeah, you know what was good about the whole China gimmick? It was believable. You know what I mean? It was believable. It's a lot more believable than David Arquette winning the WCW championship, which was bullshit. But anyway, we're going to leave it at that. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate all of you. I know that a lot of the crew is going to be doing some stuff at Halloween Horror Nights. And I don't know what the plan is for and I'm traveling. I don't know what the plan is for premium yet tonight, so I'll keep you, it may be later than normal. I'll give you guys an update on the community post, so I'll give you an update as soon as I have it. So thank you guys so much. Happy birthday month to Dougie B and everybody in the chat, and happy birthday year to everyone, by the way. It's everyone.
Yeah, it's a special one.
Everybody in the chat, that if it's your birthday year, happy birthday to you. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. My Nerdy Home says, or read that one and then I'll read Steph's.
Doug B for 5. We're not letting you leave, Ryan. You'll be reading super chats to the end of time. I gotta go to the gym.
Steph said, God, where did it go? Steph's comment. Just pop in here, Steph, and tell him. I can't find your comment now. There it is. There you go. Hey, Steph, tell him.
Hi, we're going to go live from Park Hoppin' today, and then after Park Hoppin', we'll probably go live from Geeks and Gamers Life. So if you are not yet subscribed to Park Hopping or Geeks and Gamers Life, make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications because we're going to be going live later on tonight from Horror Nights.
There we go. So send your supercharges over there.
Yes.
Now we're
all going to be there, and it's all of our birthdays. So make sure you come in with us.
Yeah, it's everybody's birthday. All right. Thanks, Steph. And thanks, chat. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. See you over there. There we go. Dom H says, sounds like a plan, Doug B.
Dom H and Doug B. Go.
What? All right, guys, go say hello to Junk 3PO. But don't send him super chats for his birthday. Maybe supercharges, but that's it. All right, guys, have a good night or day, and we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.